Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning to you all. Not a whole lot of movement overnight. We're stuck in yesterday's range so far. This is basically what we got here. Morning, Paul. Hey, Koichi, Bill, Yas, Tim, Alberta, Squid, Oceans, Neil. Good morning, everybody. We are very solidly in this range here. Morning, Tom. Yeah, exactly, Tom. Right at the close, right in the middle of the range. This is for sure a no trade zone until we can break out of here. And we don't really have any solid news today. We already had release this morning. Oh no, sorry. Looking at the wrong day. We did actually. We had the budget release from Germany. So there you go. Or Great Britain, I mean. Couple other minor news releases at 5:30. Not much has happened since then. Sorry, 8:30. That's what I mean, market time. So yeah, aside from that, no other scheduled news. So we might be in for kind of a slow, rangy day. Just a couple minutes till the open now. Yeah, there you go, Alberta. Range trading, where you invent your own opportunities. I like that. It's funny. Okay, there's the opening bell. Let's see what we got today. Currently no real trend. If anything, we have this little move down. And NQ is definitely on its way down. Much weaker than the S&P so far. And not a lot of movement out of the gate. S&P appears frozen. Possibly trying to move down here. The Nasdaq is dropping. Could drop with it. Morning, Fernando. Yeah, so NQ making a move towards not yesterday's low. This is the high from the day before, which was broken, so it's not as important of a level. Let's mark the low from yesterday. But there is, you know, some sort of possible support here. But either way, Nasdaq clearly bearish compared to the S&P. And that looks like the second move of that downtrend. We'll see if it continues. Yes, not super following along too much here. Getting a little pop here. Back to the middle of the range. Setup wise, we would want to see some action at one of the extremes of the range here. Yes, kind of looks like it wants to try to break out of this congestion. NQ had a couple bullish candles in a row. Not really following through. That kind of looked like an overshoot there. Again, S&P kind of looks like it wants to pop up. We'll see if that happens or not. With all this back and forth consolidation, we could get a pretty explosive move out of here, potentially. Another attempt to a break above those swings there. And after that, we could see the top of the range. Whoa. We got some news-like action here, guys. Trying to see the ticker right now. Nothing is immediately popping up. I don't know if this is the case, but it looks like Victoria's Secret and Tesla are facing a French boycott. Maybe that's it. It's the most noteworthy thing I see on the news ticker. If anyone else is seeing anything else coming across the headlines that may be prompting that. There you go, Chinese reciprocal tariffs. That makes a lot more sense. As much as the market deeply cares about Victoria's Secret. We're getting pretty close to the top of the range here. And we will see what the market's made of. Top of the range is also the overnight high plus yesterday's high. So pretty key level there. NQ still showing some weakness here. Has not really been joining S&P on this move up. S&P starting to put in some bearish candles here. But basically the range continues. You know, maybe if we get a lower high here, I might be interested in a short. Let's see if this ticks higher and then closes near its low. Okay, there's the tick higher. If this closes on its low, I could be interested in a short. Not getting that lower high, and Nasdaq also popping up. Putting in a really big bottom wick there. This is just very choppy price action. On the S&P though, I'm still looking for that lower high, which would be a double lower high now. We had one right here. Couldn't quite take it. It was above the moving average. If we get one more, I'd be interested in shorting that. And no dice, it just drops down. Got a little bit of a bullish hammer here. We'll see if it pushes the market up at all. But we are still smack dab in the middle of the range. Still not much going for us. Hey, Gene, good morning. Nasdaq is getting close to yesterday's low. Might be a support level. And yeah, this is kind of a hard trend to map. Obviously, we have a bearish bias, but that's very wide of a trend for this kind of range structure. So, you know, we might get there. Right now, I'm going to assume that this downtrend is played out for the time being. We might get a bounce. Except on S&P, the downtrend is active, as you can see. So that has me thinking we might still have a little bit lower to go. I'd be interested in a short on the S&P. If we can get a nice correction like so. So I'd look to short here. And then if we get to the bottom of the range, I'd be looking for a buy. Later, Alberta. See you in Discord, my friend. Okay, we have a break in the downtrend here on ES. If we can get down here, I'd be looking for opportunities to buy. The only problem is the Nasdaq is not ranging in the same way. It's looking a little bit more bearish. If you're hanging out, enjoying the time today, please give a like to the stream. We got 60 people in here, only 15 likes. I think we can do a little bit better than that. Spreads that positivity. Simple click of the button is all it takes. Alright, so NQ now only 10 points away or so from yesterday's low. And again, we'll look at that to see if there's any support on that level. S&P very close to the range low. We'll see if this can hold. And also, yesterday's lows right below that too. So S&P might want to go down there. Nasdaq is there right now. See if we have any sort of bullish hammer. No bullish hammer yet. Nasdaq hanging on by a thread there at yesterday's low. All right, if we can get a higher low here, I'll look to go long. Want this bar to tick below the previous bar and then end really bullish. Did not tick below. See if this one can. Okay, there's the tick below. Let's see if it ends really bullish. But this might just drop. NQ is now going below yesterday's low. Not looking great. Watching this candle very closely here. Yeah, there it's breaking. NQ is now below yesterday's low. ES has got yesterday's low in its sights. NQ clearly bearish. I think this is probably an overshoot of that wider move though, so some caution here. Right at a key level, possible overshoot of the wider channel. Could be a sharp correction, but we're also drawing that steeper channel and want to see where this goes. All right. S&P is right at that key level, yesterday's low. And it looks like it's breaking so far. We'll widen this channel. And we will definitely be bearish if we can stay below this thing. If we can get down here, hold that. That will be a bearish sign for sure. Watching that key level very closely here. We broke down below it. We'll see if it holds as resistance now. Mert. What's up, Mert? Love that name. Past 8 Apex evals, right on. Good luck at the funded stage. NQ looking like it's dropping down again. S&P is back above yesterday's low. Going for the short is going to be a little bit tricky now that we've gone above that key level. There, we're back below though. NQ also on its pullback here. We will be watching the EMA closely, watching yesterday's low closely. If they hold as resistance, we could look for a short. S&P again right at that key level here. Still yet to be seen whether it's going to be support or resistance. Right now popping up. Holy cow. It looks like we got some news that the Treasury is risking default as soon as August. That's really non-news, to be honest, because that's all the time. there's always a risk of default without the debt ceiling raise, and they always raise the debt ceiling, right? So it's actually non-news. But the market is wanting to react to any sort of news information right now. anything it can to move around, it's doing. But yeah, that's not actually, not really any significant news. Back above the EMA here on the S&P. Big bearish candle again on the S&P, back at that key level. This is kind of do or die here if this is going to break or hold. Kind of looks like it's holding on the S&P. We've had another test there. NQ still like hanging down at the lows. It rejected at the EMA, hasn't really been able to push up yet. Threatening to drop again. S&P still holding that support area. So far. Another wick right on yesterday's low. And if it wasn't for that key level, I would actually really like this short right here. Kind of tempting to go for it anyway. EMA keeps holding. Downtrend does need a new low. But I don't know, it's a pretty big bar. We're right at that key level. It wouldn't be wise, even though it may work out. Nasdaq big drop here. S&P double bottom. S&P testing again yesterday's low. We just keep going back and forth on that key level. Shayak, have a good one. It's a good skill to have to be able to walk away if things aren't going your way. So good on you, man. There'll be better days ahead. S&P definitely looks like it wants to go higher. The Nasdaq still not really going along with that plan. Looking quite weak. But if the Nasdaq starts bouncing, this thing could really launch up. S&P again trying to go higher here. If the Nasdaq keeps going down here, we're gonna have to find some sort of wider trend, I guess. Nothing will really fit that well, so I'm not sure. A bounce here makes the most sense. S&P again. Pushing above that level. Nasdaq hasn't come along with it just yet. Man, just hanging out right at this level. Not what you want to see from either side, really. You want to see clear conviction one way or the other, not just chop right at the level. Slight downward bias just because NQ is below the level, but yes, hanging out right here. Very hard to read this bias here. Yeah. We've essentially been ranging for the last half hour. Right at this area. Again, I'd lean towards the downside, but not enough to trade it. Like, this bearish bar is very tempting, but in a range, you know, things are going to look tempting. There is the flush there. And again, you know, there's all sorts of great setups here if it weren't for that key level. If this wasn't here, would be getting short on this bar. You could go short on that bar. You could go short on this bar. But when you're right at that key level, and especially since you're chopping around it, this could very easily just bounce up. So looks good in hindsight, but you got to avoid that stuff that doesn't have long-term expectancy. All right, well, we could be looking at a secondary channel here now that we are below yesterday's low and holding it. In Q2, there's some sort of wider channel going on. Bearishness continues. We'll look for an opportunity to short when this pulls back. Neither of those channels look great, but we do have to adapt to the market, which is clearly bearish. All right, so now we're just in short mode, pullback mode, waiting for the market to come back to the 21, and then we'll look for a setup. The bears have shown their hand. We're below the key level. Everything is confirmed. Now we just need a good setup. All right, we are pulling back a little bit here. I like the short more on the Nasdaq than the S&P. Just because the Nasdaq has been weaker. So we'll be watching that as we get back to the trend line, back to that channel line. Tom calling out support around this area. For sure, this is kind of the bottom of that range there. Still could consider a short if it sets up properly. We do have one attempt lower. See if we get another bearish bar. Pretty vertical move up here. We're looking for 2 rejections. We want to see one right here, another one right there. Yeah, Fernando, definitely important to be watching SPY. Right now on SPY on the daily time frame, we are below the 200-day moving average, which is a very key level. Any hold below that is going to be bearish on that larger time frame. Getting a little bit of rejection here. All right, not getting that rejection there on NQ. Watching ES as well. Both are above the EMA. Not what you want to see if you're looking for a short. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not getting that rejection we would want, unfortunately. Fernando, looking forward to those insights in the Discord. Yeah, option pricing can definitely be helpful. So if you found something, let us know. Yeah, anyway, S&P, or sorry, the EMA not really holding here, which is what we would need to see to continue to look short. Watch for this retest of the key level. We're coming up to it now. See if this holds. If this acts as resistance, we can start to look to short. And that's what we'll be waiting for. Stick to the short side. Definitely don't try to pick a bottom here, especially Nasdaq, quite bearish. So just watch for any opportunity we can to short. Move below the EMA, lower high, boom. Or if we can come back and test this breakout area, get resistance, lower high, bam. So that's what I'd be looking for the rest of the day. Thanks for hanging out with me as always, y'all. Appreciate you. Hope it's a wonderful trading day. I'll be over in the Discord for anyone who wants to join. Link below. Take care. Have a good one. Till next time.